training. But generally speaking, as with every technology, I'm very skeptical and I try to look at the cons more than the pros. The main reason being, my, let's say, willingness to position myself as a contrarian to everything. That's because, usually in life, just like in business, you plan for things and then things happen and they're usually just like the opposite of what you meant them to be in the first place. So my 2 cents on AI is that we're still at the beginning. It will take time, specifically because AI doesn't know when it's right and it's wrong. And even Google, like with their ability to serve the right answers, specifically for your money, your life niches, they will keep a very close eye on all AI generated content, and most likely, they're gonna have really strict guidelines on where AI can be used and where it can't be used. So uh, personally, for me, it's a great start. Right now, I'm going to be straightforward. We don't have any AI within the company, any systems, SOPs, content generation that we've started using AI for. So yeah, that's just it might be a little bit conservative, but at least I'm going to stay on the safe side of things, with, everything that revolves around the company here.
Yeah. What about the tools that have appeared so far? Like anyone had like taken advantage of this?
So I'll
Yeah,
just
I
I'll
believe
just jump
Kyle
in.
and Samesh could talk more about the tools.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure. So for me, I'm not using I shouldn't say that. I'm using quite a bit of AI, but I'm not playing around so much with the tools. Mostly, I'm interested in it from a content generation perspective. So I am using it quite a bit on that front. Pretty basic stuff, you know what I mean? Just like simple prompts. I'm using it a lot to, not me personally, but my editors, my team, that sort of stuff. We try to incorporate mostly just chat as much as possible into the process. And it's really helped streamline the process, actually. And I play around with it a lot just to summarize articles and then create a content brief out of that. And then you can then feed it to create further articles, you know what I mean? So there is just a lot of use cases. I think it's really useful. I also have an e-commerce client. So one of the pain points with e-commerce, which I think is really interesting, is when you have a big e-commerce site, this one, for example, has 40,000 SKUs, and they're getting the descriptions from the manufacturer, right? And then you have a bunch of duplicate content. So to have somebody go in there, which they have been doing, and manually rewrite all of these product descriptions is a real pain. So what I did is I created a process where, is that my audio or is that everyone's audio? Is everyone's audio buggy right now? Or is
Yeah, I
it just mine?
can also hear something.
Yeah, okay. It's throwing me
Yeah.
off. Sorry for the. I wasn't sure if it was just my audio or what, but basically, just rewriting product descriptions, a simple use case like that, I think it's just amazing, and the quality of the product descriptions, it even captures the tone and everything, which is just I'm blown away by. So I think that it's definitely going to be a real game changer. You can look at it on how Google is going to adapt and how the SERPs are going to change and all that stuff. But you can also look at it from a digital marketing perspective of how it's going to change, email copy and blog posts and all that sort of stuff. I think it's unreal. You can basically have somebody who's non-native English pumping out, similar quality content with some guidelines, with some editing and with some additional prompts and feeding it some specific details. But the quality is just, it's pretty impressive already. So I think it's kind of amazing. I'm just trying to hold on, basically. I feel like things are moving so fast. I'm just doing my best to stay on top of things.
So in my case, like I was scared of AI. Like if we consider like 3 months back, because everyone was saying AI will replace SEO, traffic will be dead, and then we have to do something else, and like the whole digital marketing industry and so much noise about it. But slowly, when I started integrating the AI tools in the ecosystem for digital marketing, I think it reduced the cost which I used to pay for like ad copies for content and all. So like the process that I was using is like I have a couple of people who was working on the research part, because again you have the CAT and EAT part with where you have to validate whatever you're putting out, is like how to buy an apartment in New York, and then people need precise information. It's like, oh, how you're saying that, what credibility you have. Now that general process like used to take I would say 3 days, because I tried to reduce it down, but it used to take 3 days. And then with the AI, I think I got it down to 4 hours. So that's one of the benefit I got. And then increasing the open rate of email. So like how people are reacting, and I just simply copy the replies to the AI platform like ChatGPT and just try to understand what tone they are speaking in and how should we respond to it. And by that we are closing more clients, and by using AI just to understand their tone and what state they are in, and it help us out in terms of doing better email communication. Similarly, with sorting out the data, is like is the phone number active or not? We use the ChatGPT AI just to validate like the emails are active or the phone numbers are active. We so everything is automated. So like I think from a cost perspective, I think we have reduced it down to like 30 to 40%. And so far in the content space, research was the biggest challenge for us. Like if I think when previously people were saying we cannot work in the medical space, and because we don't have the authority. Now we can have the search prompt ready and we can give it to a medical practitioner. Like this is the article style and all, and he can fix it and validate the information, and then we can go live on the website. Like that's the kind of changes that we are working on.
I already regret being so conservative in regards to AI after hearing you, Charles, and I already taking some notes here on how to apply it in to our day-to-day operations. So this for me is, very educational. I'd say the live stream ended up being very educational.
Well, pretty much in every podcast episode that I've had for the past like half a year or so, like AZ Dean was talking about it. Doug Cunnington was talking about it as well. Angelo Sorbello and the last guest, I will not spoil who it was, and everyone sees a huge potential in terms of how these like language models could be applied to uh, solving like site building process, or optimizing site building processes, whether related to content especially, or like the layouts and everything. So yeah, it's a pretty fun time, I'd say.
I think it's also going to push people, especially site builders, as it relates to site builders. There's been a lot of talk, especially over the past year or two, about building a brand. People have really been pushing that, even for niche sites or authority sites or affiliate sites, whatever it is. Everybody's been saying, oh, you got to build a brand. You got to build a brand. You got to do this. You got to, build your email list. You got to have the social media stuff. So I think that, me included, a lot of people were very like lazy on that, and I was yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna publish content, and that's gonna be the end of it. But I really think as content becomes cheaper and it becomes more abundant, I think that that's no longer the game. The game then becomes, what are we selling? How are we then keeping that customer? You know what I mean? So I think for people that are doing affiliate sites, offering more, say, a digital product, or building an email list and then following up with them in different sequences and all these things. So I think it's going to push a lot of people to more in that route, basically. So that's kind of my thoughts, essentially, and really building a brand, basically a real brand, not just talking about it, but it's like looking at the lifetime value of the customer, as opposed to just getting somebody to click on your site, make a little bit of ad revenue, and then they're gone, which I've been guilty of that, right? But I'm trying to change my mindset now. So it's definitely changed how I analyze niche sites moving forward, basically. What's the long-term strategy on this? How can I monetize this in a better way, as opposed to just writing content? So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, interesting.
Speaking of, did your approach to site monetization change over the past half a year at least?
For me?
For you, for Somesh?
For me, it hasn't changed yet, but it's changing. It's me just trying to. I recently just sold the site in February. That was kind of my big project or whatever, right? I still have a small portfolio, but now I'm really taking a step back and thinking to myself, okay, like I have now this capital that's kind of done with, and I have so many more opportunities now that I could pursue, right? So I'm really trying to take a step back and not looking at things with the same lens as I did, say, 6 months ago, because a lot has changed over the past 6 months. And how I structure a team has changed, how I analyze a niche has changed. What niche, maybe before I was thinking, I was able to, my process was all about scaling content, and I can still do that really well, but maybe I don't want to scale across so many sites now, which was my original vision. Maybe I don't want to flip these sites now, which was what always my goal was, to buy them and flip them. That was just my thing. I like that game kind of thing, right? Now I'm trying to think, okay, maybe I don't want to flip them. Maybe I want to have a site that if you build a brand, right, then it's going to take much longer. This is not like a 1-year thing necessarily, right? This is a 2, 3, and ideally, if you're building a good brand, like Alex knows, right, you get the benefits over a longer period of time. It compounds, right? So it compounds over time. So actually, the benefits are going to be, if you have a legitimate brand, then it's going to be even more valuable 5 years, 10 years, and so on. So now I'm trying to think, like, I don't need these quick wins right now, right? Financially, I'm okay. Like, don't just like chase that quick hit, you know what I mean? Like, try to think a little bit longer term, and how can I utilize, these tools that are available to build something that's a little bit more sustainable, as opposed to just these burner sites, basically. I don't want to say burner sites, but just like the quick hit, we just rank them, make money, whatever, flip, whatever it might be. So that's kind of my approach, but it's not easy, right? Especially when you're, it's like heroin, you're addicted to that next hit, right? You just want the quick wins. So just trying to change my mindset a little bit.
Okay, what about you, Samesh?
So for me, for the last 6 years, I'm using the same monetization model. I'm in lead gen from the beginning. I tried with Google Ads and all, but I was not happy because I was unable to drive that quality traffic, or where you can get that EPMP and like this much revenue and all. I was always worked on a website where the traffic doesn't go beyond like 100,000, 150,000 a month. Not like a million traffic, but I was always in the lead gen. And lead gen, I feel like very safe, because you can switch the client, you can change something else, and you can sell the banner space, anything you can switch. Whereas ad is something like, it all depends on traffic. The more the traffic you have, and then you have to write some articles or some content which is just for traffic, and it has no value to the website. Whereas lead gen is more, it's precise. It's like you have 10 landing pages, and then just work on it. Go to Pinterest, create some maybe 50 pins over there, and then go to LinkedIn and create some pillar content over there, and then you can run a parallel ads for it. So for me, lead generation is still remain the same as monetization model, and it has a more diversification. Like you go in a high authority niche, like you go medical, you can sell products, but it's better to sell like leads to doctors or maybe clinics and all, which becomes a little easy, because all you have to do is sell the leads, and if they're looking for a verified leads, you can always hire.
Okay, just a quick pause. With everything is set up on YouTube right now. It's running. Kirill says that you, Alex, are old-fashioned in terms of AI, and he also says that he loves my head. Thank you, Kirill.
Yeah, I hope Kirill's job within the company wasn't replaced by AI, and I wasn't aware of it.
Right.
I'm actually a deep fake. This is not the real Kyle. I'm actually AI. I'm on some advanced AI right now. So this stuff is killer. Yeah.
Well, we're all living in a simulation, according to
right.
Nick Bostrom. So.
That's right.
Yeah, I'd like to, kind of transition into the Odys mentors program a little bit and talk about it, but I'd like to use AI as a means to transition. First of all, so before we actually had the idea, we thought about, well, let's try to implement AI. Let's try to use ChatGPT. Let's try to, to come up with, higher quality answers, for our members. Let's try to, develop, higher quality growth strategies, for these websites. And then at some point we realized that, all the content that we can generate can be found on the web, like freely. And it's not about access to content in the first place, because anyone can do it, and we can incorporate it, in an answer that we provide, to someone who's asking a question. But it's more like about experience and expertise, as I previously stated. So what we realized is that we cannot fake the experience and the expertise and someone's personal brand. As Kyle mentioned, it can be like a corporate or a personal brand, but it's very important. It has weight. So, someone's just launching, a pair of shoes with no brands, and now you have your own shoes, and you have a 10 years old brand, and you put the brand of the shoes, and you can charge $100, for the shoes. Whereas the first pair of shoes is not worth that much, is because it doesn't have a brand. So we realized that, considering, that, the SEO and domaining, space is community driven, why not partner up with all these awesome people that come from within the ranks of our members, that already have gone through building websites, and invite them to join the Odys Mentors program, which is nothing less than, being mentored and helped by someone who already did it and know the pros and cons, know the ins and outs, knows all this stuff. And more than that, they are a real human being. So Kirill will call me old-fashioned, but what I actually try to do is, while everyone is moving into AI and automating, and generating prompt answers, I thought, why not add a little bit of human interaction? Because what we've noted is, and this happened just recently with Carl, so we have this lady who was about to buy a domain, and she had a few questions and a few objections, which are legitimate, questions regarding the domain. And Kyle provided an answer, but before Kyle did, Kyle actually was introduced as someone who knows a lot about age domain, who built them, who flipped them successfully, who was on Doug's podcast, and this puts him in a position where he can talk about this stuff. It's not like just anyone. And I believe that while mentors can use, for instance, AI to help them in their communication with our mentors, the sole presence of mentors as personal brands and entities and people, who have what it takes to talk about this stuff is very important. So that's one of the main triggers for our, Odys Mentors initiative in the first place.
Yeah, and Kyle, what has your experience been with Odys Mentors so far?
For a week.
What has it been? 1 week so far, I think. I got the official logins and so on. It hasn't been long. So first week has been great. I've had the chance to already connect with many interesting people. So that's kind of the main reason I joined it as well. You know what I mean? I've been stuck behind a computer. When I was focusing on my own sites, it's very much you're not talking to a lot of people, and to be quite honest, that's the part that I enjoy the most. So to Alex's point, right? I think that there's a line between, like, yes, we're going to use AI to generate, these answers and questions and all this stuff, but that's not to say that AI is going to replace everything. And that's why I'm here right now, is because I don't believe that AI can replace what we're doing right now, right? And that's why I'm putting myself out here right now. You know what I mean? Because this cannot be recreated. Not yet, anyways. We'll see. But no. So I think that there's certain aspects of the business that are going to be replaced by AI or can be helped with AI, and there's certain parts like this which we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. So that's why I joined Odys Mentors. That, and I feel like I can provide a lot of value because I do have experience with it myself. And it also allows me to get a lot of value from it by meeting different people, by talking with different people, doing things like this. I mean, I learn a lot. That's one of the reasons why I like doing freelance as well, like talking with different business owners, is because you get so many different unique insights. I mean, SEO is just one part of the business, right? You still have many aspects, right? So people and some of my favorite jobs actually are the ones where people have a business, but they're using, say, an age domain, an auction domain for a 301 redirect to help power up their site or something like this. This is very interesting. A lawyer, for example, they're utilizing this to help boost their SEO, generate more leads, that stuff. So that's very exciting. So far, I would say, to answer your question, it's been a very positive experience. Everyone's been very welcoming, and it's exceeding my expectations.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool, and we're really literally happy to have you around, and me especially, because I met you in Saigon. By the way, for those who don't know, in case anyone doesn't know, I met Somesh and Kyle personally in Saigon, and they're really great people to talk to. We discussed a number of things, from site building to various lifestyle issues, all kinds of things, and it's a really special live stream for me personally, because I know personally all of these people you see on the screen. Well, Alex is my boss, okay?
And actually,
I thought I was your friend in the first place.
Well, of course.
And it was definitely more encouraging for me, because when I had spoke to you in Vietnam at the conference about Odys, I asked how it was. It was a little bit just me and you. It was you could have said some negative things. You could have spoken freely, basically, but you only had very positive things to say, and that was also in my mind. And so all my experiences with Odys have been extremely positive. I definitely like how you guys conduct business. So that was why when I got the invite to the mentorship program, I jumped all over it, because I thought, these are the kinds of people that I want to associate with. So, yeah, so good on you guys.
Yeah, we like to keep it playful. That's one of the like fundamentals. Keeping it playful is very important. Not to get bored in the first place. We all have to make money, but if it's boring, it's not the same thing. Obviously, Somesh hasn't joined, the Odys program. He's very busy with lead gen, I assume, so he doesn't have time for us. But so that you know, Somesh, the doors for Odys Mentors program are always open for you. And the reason I'm saying this is because we're actually closing them down. So we have 8 mentors among us, and these mentors will be helping, all the newcomers, everyone who gets accepted to the marketplace and everything, and the entire platform. And once we've closed the doors, we don't plan on accepting anyone. That's because we're going to do a lot of training, and we're just trying to create this formula where everyone wins. Mentors win, we win as a company. Our members win by making the very informed domain buying decisions. So yeah, but so that for you specifically, being a pioneer for the Odys stocks, version 1, the doors are open, and we even have like a Slack spot paid for you waiting anytime you're ready.
I'll definitely get back to you after.
All right.
Yeah, one more thing about the Odys Mentors initiative. Um, it's not just focused on uh, personally reaching out to uh, Odys members interested in buying domains. We also have like other fields uh, distributed for it. For example, like some mentors provide uh, personal consultations over the phone. Like, yeah. Some provide growth blueprints for domains. And we will put them up. Video versions we'll put them up once the new platform is up. And like it's a combination of things that basically makes this Odys Mentors initiative. So if anyone out there listening to the stream right now is interested in anything like this, in joining the Odys Mentors initiative, so just reach out to us and we'll see what we can do. So yeah, Somesh,
Yeah.
you are originally a digital marketer and ads expert. How did you transition uh, to affiliate marketing? How did you like handle this all the sides of things related to creating successful sites, affiliate sites, lead gen sites?
So I started my journey by working up with brands. So and every brand was looking for like a quick success. It's like I was working with a company which is on repair for Apple products. This is back in 2012. And at that time, Facebook organic reach was great. It's like you post something at 10 a.m. in the morning and you get like a great boost, and then you communicate with your users at 9:30 in the evening. But because it's a community building, it doesn't generate revenue, so they were not happy about it. So then everything changed. Was like we need more people coming to our store for repairing the products. And then I was like, if I start doing SEO now, we need like a link building budget, and then we need to build a couple of landing pages, and then it should be regional, because it's a service business. We have to do local SEO as well, which is a little different, like needs more part compared to the regular SEO. So I started up with ads, and then boom, because at that time Facebook like campaign used to work great, and then Legion campaign. I started up with the survey campaign. It's like getting to know how many people own iPhone 4 and iPhone 4S, and then how many people have like cracked up screen. And with the survey, I used to build like lookalike audience, because there was no restriction at that time. It's like how to build an audience, no restriction, do whatever you want to do on ads. And that's how I started things, and that gave me sort of a confidence. As like from an omni-channel perspective, it's like you can start with ads, which will give you the quick success, and then you can do your parallel SEO at the same time. So I started doing SEO for them, because these are brands and have great money compared to what I can put from like whatever the salary or the payment I used to get. That's how the journey started, from starting up with ads, paid media, lead generation, and then slowly getting into the SEO side, because it will take some time. take a lot of effort in content, website optimization, load time, a couple of things get into that. And after that, I parallelly started working on my own WordPress, very small websites. Like the highest traffic I used to get is like 60,000 visitor in a month. Very small website. I used to do like 300 to $400 a month, and that's how I started working in the SEO side.
That was the proof that it works. That was your first affiliate marketing dollar, the most valuable one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I keep getting back to what Doug Cunnington said during our podcast episode, like when he started building sites, hoping to make things work. He just kept doing it and didn't expect much, and then one morning he just got this little tip on his phone, a notification that he got his first 13 cents. And that was when he realized, this thing works. It really works.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, persistence is key, I
I'd
guess.
like to suggest a hard stop here and even suggest Vladimir. We're all marketers here, but we need to help the live stream get more reach. So I'd like to encourage everyone who's watching. I know Kirill is watching. Kirill, by the way, is the head of domain acquisitions at Odys. He's a former partner. We've been partners in a couple of businesses. He was an affiliate marketing himself. To like the video and share the video. This is very important. It will get more views in time, since it will basically remain on YouTube for a very long period of time. So like the video, share the video with your communities. And hopefully we get more reach and more people, hearing our podcast in time.
Yeah, speaking of people, we're joined by Maureen Chinomso, who is greeting everyone, and Ridwan Lawai, who also says hi to everyone. And Tots Network is asking, how do they join the mentors group? So Tots Network, just get in touch with us via odys.global, and we'll see how it works. And there's a question for Somesh from Kirill. What do you think about working with clients directly?
So I have been working with clients, like that's, I would say like 60 to 70% of how I generate my revenue, and then rest comes from my own website. So if I start with like I also started with SEO in the beginning. That was my first client, and it's like a job and not like a client and a party relation. So uh, I think after 11 months, I got a strike by saying like if the website doesn't rank in next month, you're going to get fired. So at that time, I realized is like SEO is a game. It requires a lot of equation when you're working with a brand, because what we can control is like we may say that we'll do an off-page SEO with you, we can do an on-page SEO with you, but it's always challenging in the SEO side. But when it comes to ads, it becomes a lot easier. It becomes from a lead generation side, because you control a lot of equations. It's like uh, I'll give you an example. Like in 2018, I used to work with a Middle Eastern client. I'm still working with them. So, and they just simply said we want to increase our clients. That's it. That's it. And it's a plain business. It's they have like multiple shops in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and they said we want to do SEO, we want to do ads, we want to. And I simply asked them, do you want to increase your revenue? Then just tell me what is your budget, and then leave everything to me. And I have not done any ads for them. I've not done any SEO for them. I've done plain email marketing for them. And they started closing, like for the first financial year, for the first 12 months, they closed around 70 clients. And because it's email marketing, all they need is like where they're collecting the database from. So I need to focus on is open rate and sequence. So it becomes a little easier when you're working with clients on a lead gen scenario, because it becomes very straightforward. I face a lot of challenge in the SEO side, because there's a lot of equations involved. Like if the website has, let's suppose, 100,000 pages, will they listen to us? Will they make changes? Will the changes, when they will result, how they will work? When you give them content brief, how they're working? A lot of the like wheels are involved in it. So from an ads and lead generation perspective, I had a very wonderful experience. From an SEO side, I'm not taking any more SEO clients. I try to build my own, and then once these websites are ready, I give the banner space to clients, I give the lead generation space to clients. It's like, do whatever you want to do. I have this landing page. This generates 10,000 page views a month, and pay me this much more money. As simple as that. I hope
So,
this
Yeah,
so,
is.
so
I think that's really interesting also from what Kyle said that, interacting with clients, I'm more kind of adding to Kirill's question, interacting with clients gives you the chance to grow, to see what others are doing, to get exposed to the new realities of business and what's everything been doing and adapting. So that's a really good opportunity. So I think is really important, especially for niche website builders, because those who've been building niche websites, they know that all it takes is to stick in front of the computer, 12 hours a day, just grind content, grind links, try to get ranked, and sometimes getting out there, even like live stream events, podcasts, working with clients, that's very important, even for diversifying your revenue streams. That's something that everyone should be doing, in my opinion. So working with clients itself is somehow negatively perceived within the SEO community, at least it was, but at the end of the day, we are, everyone is someone else's client, or we are hiring people to get things done. For instance, I've been thinking that we should definitely hop on a call with Somesh so he can, consult us on how to improve our own email marketing, and everything we do, from open rates, to configuring, our SendGrid account, and some of the little less known, techniques that he may be aware of while we are in. So in a way or another, having the, client, relationship with everyone around us is really important, and that shouldn't be perceived negatively, as it is in the digital marketing world, especially among, content marketers who think that, passive income and financial freedom is achieved by launching a content website and installing eZoing and just making money via display ads. It's not that easy. It's one of the revenue streams, but there is really more there than there is to it. And I'm a big fan of, the slogan that says your network is your net worth, which means sometimes relationship building and cross promotions work much better, and the ROI you get on networking and building relationship is way superior than running ads. And I'll stop here, and whoever wants to comment on this.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've experienced this over the past few months. Uh, well, I will never forget. I've already told the story to several people, but it just stuck to my mind. So the day that I met Greg Elfrink of Empire Flippers was the first day of SEO Mastery Summit in Saigon. Uh, in the evening, when we were both going to the first after party, and we met at the entrance. I had no idea who he was. I never met him personally. I've never seen him online, and he asked me like, "So, what do you think about the first day of the conference? What presentation did you like the most?" And I said, "Well, I really enjoyed the first day. A lot of valuable stuff, a lot of information, and my favorite presentation was perhaps uh, uh, Matt Diggity's Q&A platform." And he looked at me straight in the eye and said, "Oh, thank you." And this was the moment when I realized that this was the second guy sitting on the stage. And so from then on, we just started communicating over Facebook, just laughing at different stuff. And at one point, he just messaged me saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm thinking of getting someone from Odys Global on our podcast, and I also have something interesting for you." And right now, we're basically in the last 100 meters of sealing a cross promotion partnership, and it all started with just an accidental meeting in the lobby, So yeah, it definitely rings to me. That your network is your net worth. Yeah.
I wanted to also mention, and I'm not sure how much time we have left. If someone could brief me on how much time we have left, Vladimir.
Yeah, about like 12 more minutes.
All right, so I wanted to, quickly talk about how popular age domains and the entire concept has become recently. I'm not sure how much we have contributed, with the entire company that we've been building, and the Odys as a brand, and trying to make the entire concept more popular. But I'd like to talk a little bit about one of our most recent sales, which was a five-figure sales, mid five-figure sales, and it was a legal domain, and it was acquired by an SEO agency that handles and does marketing and SEO specifically for legal clients, all over the United States. What's interesting is that they acquired the domain with their client's credit card, and the important part about that is that upon asking them, like, would you like, and it was like not only a great SEO domain, it was like amazing. I think I've mentioned it in the mentors group on our Slack. I won't reveal the name right now, but what appeared very interesting to me is that I've asked them, like, are they planning to build a lead gen or a site because it's one of the best domains for that specific location? And they said no, they're going to just redirect it to a page, and it was like a five figures. And obviously, there's lots of value in that. But what kind of made me think about it more in depth and realize, how far we've come with making the entire age domain concept and how valuable these are when used right, is the fact that, their client, a very well-known New York lawyer, is actually aware of how these redirects work, and he specifically instructed them and decided that he wants it to be a 301 redirect and not a lead gen. So that made me think, well, we've gone very far into making what something like the entire concept was once perceived as gray hat and something used, as a means to trick Google, into something that actually has a lot of value and can be applied to legitimate business cases across the world, and that goes beyond SEO. So I just wanted to, pick your brains, guys, on what you think, the world of age domains, and we used to call them expired. Now it's more than an age. It just sounds better, and it goes beyond the concept of expired domains. Not everyone come from the expiration life cycle of a domain. What do you think, how did the world of these aftermarket domains progressed as far as you've been aware of them?
I'll jump in there. Yeah, so definitely I've noticed, number one, they're much more popular, right? Everybody know, like when I just started, I think it was about 3 years ago, really focusing on age domain, it was kind of like only a select few people really knew about them and how to utilize them. And then they got a lot of traction, obviously, because they work really well. They work crazy well, right? So that definitely, I've seen a few case studies and just like huge traffic spikes, peaks. I don't want to say boners, I guess. Traffic boner, there we go. So yeah, no,
that's a term coined by Diggity, yeah.
That's right. Shout out to Diggity, yeah, for sure. So I think that's really interesting, definitely. And also with all the emphasis that Google is putting on EEAT, and obviously a lot of that is it's you need more than an author box on your blog to have good EEAT, right? The majority of that is coming from links. So it just makes them even more valuable. And what I notice is that, number one, the prices have gone up quite a bit. When I'm looking at domains, just in different, I'm not necessarily saying Odys domains have gone up necessarily, but just in the auctions, when I'm looking at domains, prices have definitely gone up. I've noticed that. Also just the availability, like the good domains in specific niches definitely get picked up really fast. So there's definitely high demand there. And I think a lot of that is driven by just how powerful they are, especially when you're able to acquire a domain that has these, great backlinks that you just can't go, a lot of times you just can't get them. Or if you can, it's very, very difficult. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money, right? It's going to take a lot of systems that you have to put in place, whether you want to do digital PR or something like this. If you want to build a digital PR team, it's not an easy process, right? So, or if you want to go outsource that, you're looking at, 5, 10, I even saw some quotes for $40,000 for digital PR campaigns. So to be able just to log into Odys, find a domain, see the backlink profile, buy it that same day, and get the benefits of all those links, I think it's amazing. I think it's, and like Alex was saying, it goes much more beyond just SEO. As you said, we have this lawyer in a big popular area he's even the owner. He knows about this and the benefits. So this is a real business tactic now, which I think is really amazing. And that's what really excites me about it as well. How established businesses can incorporate this more and more. I think that's really exciting.
Yep.
I think now the expired domains are much better, because what I remember back in 2015, there was a tool called Sandbox, and people used to scrape expired domains from it, and they might have bad backlinks, and there was no great way to check it out. But I think now it progressed into a great thing where people are using expired domain as money website, whether the name are good or not. I am one of the case for that. It's working out great for me, because I've used it in the past, had a very bad experience because the website was not performing. I've never seen like a good result coming out of it. But because when a couple of people are coming, and then I had a great conversation with Alex for the first domain. I don't know how many chats we have done before getting the first domain, and now there's a huge trust involved. Plus, you can check out a couple of things. I think the market is going into the great direction where expired domains are used more often than a new domain, and I think it's a safe bet now.
Yeah, I think what's important to understand is that these are basically part of the aftermarket and they're not going anywhere. So not using them means you're missing out because someone else is, one of your competitors will. So if you perceive that as something, well, tricky, maybe, flying under the radar, it's by far not a business mindset. Like perceive age domain as a means of growth, just like you invest in pay-per-click, just like you invest in other means of marketing. Sorry to interrupt, Vladimir.
Oh, it's okay. I just wanted to highlight about the quality, the thing about quality of aftermarket domains, especially age domains, especially in particular Odys domains, is that like this is what our team has come up with our due diligence process, the concept and the process, that making sure that each and every domain is is a clean and clear platform for setting up a full-blown business. And like as you said yesterday when we were having this call yesterday, we're very picky. We just don't accept just any H domain. We go through we take them through all the steps, and shout out to the team dealing with this. I imagine it's quite a task.
Yeah,
to
it
sit
is. It
through
is.
all that. So
Well,
yeah,
I'd like to take advantage of this live stream to encourage people. So if last year, for instance, we had just mostly me handling more advanced, I say, and sophisticated strategy call that involved actually validating someone's idea, someone who's planning to invest lots of money into a website, and it all starts with this domain. Now we have our Odys mentors. Specifically today, we have Kyle who joined here. So if anyone watching this right now or in the future as a recorded video on YouTube, reach out to Kyle. It's kyle.k@odys.global. And if you need, to tap into Kyle's expertise on picking domains, maybe asking him what has been, his criteria of, picking domains from the Odys marketplace, feel free to do so. And Kyle, it will be as helpful as I was in the past, with anything strategy, idea, validation to help you, get started with your first stage domain from our marketplace.
I appreciate
and
that.
so Mitch,
I'm available.
Go on,
Yeah,
Mitch.
either by call or email. Reach out to me by email, and then we can book a call, whatever, and we can discuss all things auction domains and more. So I'm very excited about that. Happy to help.
And so Mesh, once again, you're welcome to
Yeah,
to
definitely.
get on the Odys mentors board.
But
Or
call
now
me
you can-
first. If
Now you can
Sumesh
reach
is
out
on
to
the
Kyle as well.
yeah. If Sumesh joins as a mentor, you got to call me first. I got dibs on that one. So yeah.
No,
I'm sorry,
definitely.
Sumesh. I'm sorry. It's a dog eat dog world, my friend. I apologize, but you guys gotta do what you guys gotta do. I got a
I'm
kid on
also
the way,
sure. I'm also sure Kyle will be able to get a better deal on some of the domains. Yeah. He has some insider information now.
That's right. That's right.
That's how it works. By the way, me and Alex are traveling to York for to attend the affiliate gathering conference. So if anyone is going to be there, anyone who's watching this today, May 17th or May 18th, so please approach us and greet us. We'll be glad to meet all the new people, all the amazing people, affiliate marketers, site builders, digital marketers, just business owners, whoever. It's always great to expand your communication bubble, I'd say, and yeah, we're looking forward to this, especially after the Saigon conference. It was amazing.
Yeah, we're having a booth there, right, Vladimir?
Yep.
And I'm also going to handle
Workshop.
age domain workshop. Yeah, and I'll be doing like a Q&A, session answering. And we'll see how popular age domains are. Let's see how many attend the workshop. But I'm sure I'm going to have some questions to answer there.
Yeah. Okay. It seems like it's time to wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for trusting us on doing this first edition, and I apologize for all the technical issues we've had at the beginning. At least at least right now I know what to do and what not to do. And I hope it'll go smoother next time. So yeah, we'll see all viewers next Wednesday at the same time. And well, okay, I'm just going to spoil it. We're going to have Craig Campbell, Greg Elfrink, and Jason Dolman on our next Odys Talks live stream. So yeah, it was great talking to you. Any comments, thoughts, anything?
Yeah, so most likely I'm gonna be the one asking questions in the chat box next live stream since I
Sure
won't be
thing.
joining. So you should expect some interesting questions from Greg and Craig.
Always welcome.
And Jason Dolman, by the way, is yet another Odys mentor who got accepted into the program. So you'll be getting the chance to hear Jason as well.
Yep.
Awesome.
Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap it up officially?
No, I appreciate having me.
No.
Give me a call with any of your auction domain questions. I'd be more than happy to help. You got the email. We'll put it in the chat. So no, I appreciate the time, guys. This is very fun. Hopefully we get to do it again. Samesh, nice catching up as well.
Sure.
Vladimir, Alex, we'll stay in touch.
Yeah, cheers, gentlemen.
Pleasure.
See you next week.
Pleasure.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.